All righty, good morning and happy Monday to everyone, and welcome to this Work With Me Zoom. I know if you are not on our team, what we typically do is we do a Zoom on Sunday evenings just to kind of get us ready for the week, to kind of go over announcements and just, try to get everybody into their IPA zone basically for the week ahead. And this is going to be a bit more in depth than what we typically do on our team on Sunday evenings. Just so you know, I'm going to literally kind of walk you through all of the social media aspects, and from time to time, you're going to hear different people pop on. Maybe they have a strong suit in a certain area, so I'll invite them to speak. So if you are watching this right now and you feel like you are very strong in Instagram stories or Instagram in general, or you know certain things that you don't hear me mention, then by all means get with me, because I would absolutely love for you to pop on and go over some things. And if I say some things and you have figured out a different way to do it, or just anything like that, you guys feel free to unmute, raise your hand, and say something. We're all here to learn together, so I don't ever want you to feel like this is the end all be all, because I will tell you that I read every single day, and every single day I'm like, poof, mind blown at something that I learned today. It's always my point to kind of learn something new every single day, and then, try to go to put it into action. I know that us, those of us that were on the GOAT training the other day, we have a ton of notes. And just like Thrive-A-Palooza, when you walk out of there, you have all this stuff and you kind of can't figure out where to start, okay? And so one of the things that I love that they said, one of the girls said, was talked about getting a 5-subject notebook. And I'm gonna be super honest with you, I can't, Joe and I have talked about it a lot, and I'm like, okay, what would the 5 be? Because, trying to figure out what her 5 are. And I'm literally going to see if I can find that information out. If anybody has any ideas of what those 5 would be, drop it in chat and let's go with it. But I know for me personally, I would make a list of people that are interacting in your, or people that are on your stories, that are liking your stories, whether it be, Facebook, whether it be Instagram, because those are potentials. Everyone that is, let me just say this, everyone that is in your social media that is not a thriver is a potential. And I don't mean necessarily a potential thriver, I mean a potential relationship that can be built so that they can be a potential thriver, okay? And I know on our team page, I had made a video that talked about the fact that we don't do cold calls, okay? This is network marketing, but it's really relationship marketing. So I'm a firm believer that they will buy you first, and then they will trust you with a product, okay? So they're gonna love you first, and then trust you, and then that's when the product comes in hand, okay? So the one thing I wanted to start with is self-development. If you guys are not doing self-development every single day, and I strongly, strongly, strongly urge you to start your day like that, because if you can't pour from an empty cup. So it's one of those things that if you wake up first thing in the morning and you jump on social media, if you jump on your email, if you do all these things, then you've possibly started your day off by answering questions, by setting your tone because something happened last night while you slept. And so now your whole day is going to be revolved around that. So literally try not to look at your phone until after you've done your self-development. I wake up every single day, my alarm goes off, or if I wake up before then, at 6 o'clock. So every day at 6 a.m., I am knee deep in self-development. I personally start for me with my daily devotion, and that sets the tone for my day. And then after that, I go on and grab whatever book I'm reading, and I pour into myself that way, okay? So literally, I probably spend about an hour a day in self-development. So if you are not doing that, that is the biggest thing I can tell you. If you get nothing else from today, it's that, okay? And if something happens during your day, something happened yesterday with somebody that I was working with, and I found out that they signed up under somebody else kind of stole the account. So I was irritated. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do something. So literally I went for a run and played a video while I was running and self-developed, because it yanked me right back. Okay, so now I'm moved past that, and then onward I go. So big deal, self-development, okay? And if you need ideas for books, if you go to my page, gosh, there were a lot of them listed out in there yesterday. I just got this one in. If you guys remember, this is Purple Cow. Those of you on our team, you were on that training that we did for boot camp. I literally just got this one. So this will be next on my list to read. So it looks like a pretty short, easy read. So that's kind of next on my list. But all right, so let's start our day off with doing birthdays. Okay, so if you have not done your birthdays yet, and I get emails every day about my Facebook birthdays, so I have my notifications on in that area. So we're gonna always start our day with our birthdays, and you can find it that way. And if you can't find it in your email, maybe you don't have your notifications on, simply go to your search bar and I want you to type in birthday, okay? And it should pop up your friends with your birthdays, okay? So I'm gonna work right along with you and do mine. I didn't do mine yet this morning, so I am going to mute myself out and we are gonna go with birthdays first. And you guys, when you do birthdays, ask a question, ask how they're celebrating their birthday with everything crazy going on or something like that, so that you can continue interacting with that person. If it is a thriver, a lot of times I'll just go post on their wall, happy birthday, instead of taking it into private message and, you know, asking the question inside of there, because I'd rather spend more time communicating with a non-thriver. Okay, so I show my love for thrivers by just posting it on their wall. So. Okay, so if you did not finish your birthdays, I know some days I have like 15 and some days I have 3. It just kind of depends. So that kind of varies. But if you are not done, then definitely make a point to go in later in the day and do that part, okay? Next, let's move on to stories. If you have not posted your 3 steps in your stories yet, make sure that you go in right now and let's post in our stories. Super important to post your 3 steps in your stories every single day. And remember that your stories is the things you do throughout the day. Okay, people are seeing the inside of your life. You're letting them in this way. So this is what's going on throughout your day. Okay, so whether you're, I don't know, you're having a snack or you're outside looking at flowers, or, you know, whatever it is you're doing. This isn't necessarily going to have to do a lot, maybe with your 5 things. Okay. If you don't know what your 5 things are, definitely get with me or message me and we'll kind of go over what that is. Your 5 things are going to be the things that you post about, not the things in your stories necessarily. Sometimes they'll overlap a little bit, but let's create some consistency and get that in our stories. I know for me personally, I didn't do all 3 steps in one part of my story this morning. This morning I did a little different. As soon as I woke up, I put my capsules there. 20 minutes later, I put my lifestyle mix there, and I'm literally about to put my DFT there because I haven't done that yet. So you want to go inside of Instagram and do that, and you want to go inside of Facebook stories and do that. I don't want you interacting yet. I don't want you doing anything, but I want you posting, first thing, posting your story. Okay, so let's go do that if you haven't done it. And one thing I do with my 3 steps is I literally will take lots of pictures of my 3 steps. Okay, and I have them in my phone so that it's like I have lots to choose from in my phone as far as what I'm going to post, as far as my stories go. So I don't necessarily wake up every day and take a brand new picture. Sometimes it's a picture that I had because maybe I don't have time to take it this morning, but I did it. So I want the world to know that I did it. So that's an idea that you might want to kind of create an album or, you know, something like that so that you can kind of do that. Okay, so that's just kind of an idea for that. All right, so I'm going to go post my DFT right quick, and then we're going to move on. And some of you probably already did all of your 3 steps this morning because maybe you didn't split yours up like I did mine. And if that's the case, the next thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to take a screenshot of this. So if you are okay with having your face on here, then turn your camera on. I was told Joe yesterday, I'm like, heck, half the time I was on Susan Kaufman's, I didn't have any makeup on, my hair wasn't brushed or anything else. Because I don't care, it's real, you know, and I'm working at my desk, so you know what, that's me. So people like to see you. So okay, so let's move on to that, and let's everybody smile real quick, and we're gonna showcase our community. I don't want you to post it yet necessarily, but we're gonna do that shortly. So everybody get ready and make sure you have it on your big view so they see people. Okay, everybody's camera's up, so that's funny. Mine too. Okay. So I did that in the wrong area, so I'm gonna do that one more time. Okay, so all right, so we're gonna actually post that in a little bit. It's also important for you to showcase community. Okay, people are going to see that you're part of the team, you're part of a group, you're part of. It's not just you that they're getting lots of people, and so we definitely want to showcase our community and the things that we do. Okay, so together. So like I said yesterday, I went to memories, and if you guys go to your memories every day in Facebook, that's an idea also of things that you can use later. So I try to go in there every day and grab some things if it's something that I want to grab. Candy Barron had a perfect example. I don't know if that's where she got it from or not, but she hit 12K a year ago today. So so if y'all snoop her page later, you're going to see that on her page. All right, so now we're going to go and we're going to move on to interacting in your Facebook stories. So right now we have already posted in our stories, both on Facebook and on Instagram. So we're already working in both. And now we're going to go do some interaction. Okay. So now I want you to go in your Facebook stories, and I want you to scroll and go all the way to the left. And those are the ones that you're going to see because the first ones that you see pop up are the people that you communicate with all the time. So it's already been discovered by Facebook and Instagram that those are your favorite people because those are the people that you're interacting with the most. So, and a lot of times you're going to notice that it's thrivers, right? Because we show each other a lot of love. So you're going to scroll all the way, and then you're going to find those people that you aren't communicating with all the time. Okay. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to interact with those people. And when we interact with those people, I don't want you to interact. It's not like, you do yes, girl, oh, that's cool, or that kind of thing. Pretend they're sitting beside you on the couch, and you're going to have like, say something to them. Oh my goodness, that shirt, I love that shirt you got on, or whatever it is, but have communication with them. And if you feel like you have to force it, or you don't have anything to say, don't say it, because that's not going to be good conversation. It's just going to be, it's going to not feel real. I can say it out loud because I have people do it to me, and I'm like, it just feels weird. You know what I mean? So make sure it's that you're adding some impact to their post by whatever it is that you're having a conversation with. So we're going to start Facebook stories. So that's where we are right now, is Facebook stories, and that's where we're going to start. Okay. Remember, emojis are not communication. Emojis is not interaction. Okay. They're cute and all that kind of good stuff, but this isn't the place for those. Okay. So we're going to do about 5 minutes there. If you are a time block person, I would suggest setting a timer, and I would do this for 5 minutes. You're not going to interact with everybody that you can interact with right now. There's going to be lots of people that you don't. So this is something that you're going to go back to later, because this is the first time we're doing this today, but we do this in our Nicks and Crannies throughout the day. So we're going to spend another 5 minutes interacting on these stories later. So let's go there, Facebook stories, and do some interactions. So let's go for about 5 minutes there.
Hey, Theresa, clarify where you said to scroll to the left. I think you said to the left.
Up in your Facebook stories.
Uh-huh.
Go, like, move all the way to the left.
Okay.
Well,
thank you.
Yeah, left. Go to your normal page, or not your page, go to just Facebook in general. And see, there's all these stories up top. So now I want to scroll, just keep scrolling. Does that make sense? You find it? It's okay if you didn't, just say something, Candy.
Yeah, I'm looking. I mean,
Okay.
do I hit like my personal story? Is that what you're saying? I'm sorry, I'm confused.
You're
sorry.
Fine. Okay, so I'm going to try to see if I can get you to see this. You're just on normal Facebook. You're not anywhere, like, just go to normal Facebook. And then up top, you're going to see all the stories.
Right.
I want you to scroll over on the stories, because all the first people you're going to see most of the time are Thrivers, if you haven't muted Thrivers.
Okay, we're commenting on other people's stories.
Yes.
Woo, Candy is blonde this morning.
Yes, and if you're a notebook person like I am, you're going to write down who you're commenting on. And remember, yeah, me too, Denise, I live by that thing. I can't do it without it. Whenever you do this, it's going to take that to Messenger. So now you're going to be inside of Messenger if they comment back, and they're not going to necessarily comment back right away, but that's going to be an interaction you're going to have throughout the day. Okay. So, if you're only spending 5 minutes doing this, maybe you're only getting 5 people, maybe you're getting 7, maybe you're like, I don't know. Sometimes it varies as far as what you're saying. And once you start doing this, it's fun. I mean, I talked to a bunch of complete strangers last night on Instagram like this. And I always feel like, oh, I made a new friend. Oh, I made a new friend. So it's just kind of fun. But write this down as far as who you're communicating with. Okay. And I usually write something about the person. Like if it was, I don't know, if I asked them something about their shirt, I write shirt beside my note that I'm making, so that later on, if I'm communicating with them, I don't forget the last thing, and I don't have to scroll all the way through messages to figure out like what it is I talked to them about. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to switch up and I'm going to actually talk a little bit about GOAT just because we are inside of that promotion period right now. So now I'm actually going to take you inside of your cloud office. Okay. And I want you to go inside of your cloud office to your customer list. If you do not know where to find that, that is perfectly okay. I'm going to tell you where to go. You're going to go to My Team, and then you're going to go to Customers. And then I want you to double click Last Ordered. Okay, and then I want you to see who's on that list, because the $1,000 that you have to get your doubles for next month comes from PV. That means personal orders, which I never recommend anybody go in and order $1,000 worth of product, because I mean, some people may, I don't know, but I'm just telling you it's not necessary to do that. Go to your customer list and look and see who ordered last, okay? And do some reach outs with those people. And you don't necessarily have to reach out and go all over the place about Thrive. You can reach out and just ask them how they're doing. You can reach out and let them know about new products that have come out, because maybe this person was thriving and maybe their goal was weight management. So maybe this is a great time to tell them about Sculpt and show them some before and after people that use Sculpt. Okay, if you need any pictures of that, I have some personally that I'm happy to share with you. But go to that list in there. And definitely do some reach outs inside of there. They already have free accounts and they have already ordered before. So we just need to figure out why they came off of auto ship or why they never ordered again or what have you, and do some reach outs in that area. One thing I'm going to tell you about this, just since you're in that area, is I want to talk a second about customer service, because you are your own customer service. Okay, so customer service in our business is a very big deal, because we are in this business and it's a relationship business. So we can't stop our relationship after we get someone to order. That's actually the beginning of the that's like the beginning of the business relationship, so to speak. You didn't just reach out to them to get an order and you told them that, and if we never communicate with them again, then we prove to them that maybe so this is the area that, we can do some work in that area. I think we're all guilty of not doing a great job with that from time to time, but it's never too late to fix it. So, so that's something I wanted to say about that. Okay. An idea for you, if you are looking for ideas to talk to people as far as offering them something, remember that you can only use 20% credits. Okay, so please, please, please remember that, and especially if you are ordering some stuff, don't use your credits and then be upset because it didn't count and all this kind of stuff. So just remember that there is a big deal with credits on this one. So one idea is to maybe, if you have credits that you can help with, offer half off of a plus line product with 3 steps. Maybe they're wanting Sculpt, so maybe offer half off. That's $15, okay? Or offer to pay for shipping, or something like that. If you don't have it, it's totally okay to do it in a rebate form too, okay? Because you got to remember that every dollar counts towards your $1,000, okay? So we would rather have them add it to their order than send it to them from our house if we can. If not, and you have extra stuff on hand, then by all means do it that way. But that's just kind of an idea for you to do with that. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to go ahead and move on. We're going to go back over to Instagram now. And what we're going to do now is we are going to do some interacting inside of let me make sure I wrote this down correctly. I'm going to do it myself right now. Press the following button, and after you press the following button, you're going to see an up-down arrow. Okay, I want you to press the up-down arrow, and then I want you to set it to latest. You are going to see all the people that are your latest followers. Okay, so you did all the work and you got them to follow you. So now let's create the relationship. So I want you to go in and I want you to click on their name, and I want you to go in and same thing, like find a picture or two, love it, and add some comments there. Again, this is couch conversation. This is not you go girl. It is not that's pretty, or like those sorts of things. Yesterday, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, there was a girl that had, I don't know, it was like this beautiful picture of nature, and there were sunflowers and her daughter. And I'm like, oh my goodness, you literally captured everything in this picture. I can literally feel this picture so much, you know, and I did that, and absolutely love it after I said all of that. And sure enough, straight into, this was inside of stories that I actually did this. But the point is, took it straight into Messenger. She had all kinds of conversation with me last night about all kinds of different things. And so now she's like my new friend. So she's on my list to keep communicating with. So, so it makes a difference when you use 4+ words and you're not using emojis, and you're literally creating some value with whatever it is you're commenting with. Again, if you don't have anything to say, you're better off not saying it. Okay, move on to the next one. Okay, so spend about 5 minutes going through these people and learning who they are, and then figure out what to say to them. And again, if you're doing time block during this, you're going to realize it's going to take you a lot more than 5 minutes. Okay, so you're only going to spend 5 minutes on this right now, because nicks and crannies, we're going to go back to this later on in the day. Okay, so we're not going to be scrolling anymore. We're going to be very IPA intense. Whenever we have our phone in our hand, we're going to be working. Okay. One little tidbit I want to add in this area is that if you have your account marked private, you might want to consider not having it private, because we're trying to make a bunch of friends and it's easier if you don't have your account private. So that being said, if you have your link in your bio area, you might want to consider getting Linktree. If you're on my team, I taught that. Actually, if you were on Leanne's on Friday, we taught Linktree. Because I don't know about you guys, whenever I'm going to look to follow people, first thing I do is go to their bio and click to see who they are and what they're doing and that kind of thing. And then I can kind of, and then is it me, or whenever we see a link there for their business, are you like, I'm always like, Now, if it's a competitor, like to me, if it's a different network marketing company, like to me, that's not a competition as long as it's not the same thing that I'm doing. As far as, you know, health and wellness, that sort of thing. If it's hair, if it's beauty, if it's any of that stuff, to me, that's not a threat. That's a potential. So I accept, you know, I follow those. But it gives you that feeling. So if you don't have Linktree, if you have questions on it, how to fix it, how to work it, how to set it up, I literally walked Joe through it this morning. And if Joe can do it, y'all, anybody can. So I'm just saying. So it took a few times, but we got it. But anyways, because I made him do it himself, you know. And so so anyways, that's just something about that area. Definitely consider having it public. Okay. I personally have mine. And one thing I want to say about that area too is if you have your Facebook linked to your Instagram, I would strongly suggest changing that. Okay. You can only have it linked if you have a personal account rather than a business account. If you have a business account, it's really cool because you get to see analytics. You get to see how your posts work. So it costs nothing to do that. So mine is actually structured in business. So I don't have the option to link mine to Facebook anyways, but if you do have it, I would go in your settings and I would unlink it. And the reason is because Facebook recognizes that as a robot and it's doing it at the same time. So you're actually going to hurt your algorithms if you go in and simultaneously do things one share to the other, one share to the other, one share to the other. Okay, so that's some of the research I did and found that because I had done it that way a while back and then I stopped doing it. And so now I'm glad I did. So if you have that, there's another nugget for you. Make sure that you unlink that. Okay. So, all right. So now we're going to go back to Facebook. And if you notice, we're going like a ping pong ball back and forth. Okay. So now we're going to go back over to Facebook and we are going to communicate and interact with the people that posted something recently. If you go to your Facebook right now and you see it full of Thrivers, you may want to look at fixing that. Okay, the only way you're going to fix that, we love Thrivers, and if we didn't, we wouldn't be on here right now. But we don't want to spend our time scrolling Facebook and having to weed through Thrivers. Okay, so go to, let me walk you through where that's at. Go to your most recent area. If you don't know where that's at, you're going to go to Facebook. You're going to click the three lines at the bottom. And you're going to click the button that says most recent. And then it's going to pull up all these things. If you see ads, maybe it pulls up groups for you. Sometimes it'll pull up groups for me. But if you see ads, I don't know if you know this or not, but you can click the three buttons or the three little dots up top and you can actually hide those from your news feeds as well. Okay, so that's something so that you don't have to weed through a bunch of stuff. But you're going to come to the first person that you see and you're going to interact in those areas because these are the people that perhaps you are not communicating with a lot. Okay, if you communicate with people here, again, you're going to be communicating and posting, loving their stuff, and you're going to be writing things on their picture, okay, that they posted. If you can create some impact there. If you can't, keep scrolling until you can find ones that you can. Okay, I'm a big question asker, so I always tell you to do something to ask a question. That way it keeps the conversation going. So spend about 3 to 5 minutes doing that. Again, this isn't going to be the only time you do this through the day. Instead of scrolling Facebook, you're literally going to do this in an IPA fashion. Okay, there are times when you are going to scroll through Facebook perhaps, but set a time block on that, you guys. Set a 5-10 minute to scroll through Facebook and give your people some love and then get out of there. Because if not, you're going to look down and you're going to have spent an hour liking and loving on all your thrivers. Okay. And then that's not going to help.
Hey, Teresa. This is Michelle Chalmers. I have to get off to get my boys ready to start their schoolwork. Where will I be able to rewatch this?
I will post it below the flyer in our group. If
Okay,
you're on our team,
great.
so you'll be able to find it there. Okay.
Okay,
There's
great.
only one
Thank
more
you.
thing, so you were almost done. Okay.
Sorry, bye.
No, thank you. Okay, hopefully y'all have been able to communicate with some people there. Again, I'm a list person, so I write those people's name down on a list so that I can continue to interact, because interacting one time isn't really going to get you very far. So you have to continue the relationship. Okay, so write them down and know that later on, those are going to be some people that you reach out to. And honestly, the more you comment, guess who's going to show up in your newsfeed? Those people. So it won't be as hard after a while. If you stay consistent doing this, you're going to start seeing those people. Okay. So next we're going to move on to the Facebook stories. So this will be the last of our interactions right now. You're going to move on to your Facebook stories. We're going to do your Instagram stories. We already did Facebook stories. Go to your Instagram stories. And same thing, you're going to go up top and you're going to swipe. And sometimes the very first people that you see are going to be the people that you had those communications with last, depending on how much communication you had. Okay, so a lot of times mine is still going to have the people that I communicate with a lot. So I still see Lindsay there a lot. I still see lots of different people. So I have to scroll to get past those. Okay, so make sure you scroll. Same thing. This is how I started communicating with people last night. Was I clicked on somebody's post with a picture or somebody's post with a dog or what have you. So we're going to do that right now. And same thing. You're having good conversation, not a love, and that's it. And if it feels forced, don't write it. Okay. So you can quickly see how much time you could spend interacting with real people rather than scrolling through Facebook all the time. So these are real IPAs. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to say is if you are looking for followers on Instagram, one tidbit there is to go and search hashtags. Like last night, I typed in dog mom. I went to one of the ones that doesn't have a gazillion things. I can't remember if it was dog mom life or something like that. And I clicked on that. I can have good communication with those people because I can relate to dog people because I've got dogs. And so that's how I found some people last night. They did not follow me right away. I did not follow them right away. I simply loved a couple of their pictures, posted some things on a couple of their pictures. Next thing you know, they followed me and then we're having some conversation, okay? And so you're not gonna get that every single time, but those are your add twos, okay? And for me personally, it's so much easier to do that on Instagram than it is even on Facebook. Just because it's such a wide open area and it's just different. You know, Instagram is different than Facebook is as far as I saw a cute meme the other day that it was like the same post, but it was on the Instagram version and the Facebook version and the Pinterest version and all this stuff because it's different. Okay. So, and remember, as we close this out, that what you give time to is what will grow. So if you're spending a ton of time in Facebook stories, you're going to see your audience grow in Facebook stories. If you're only making one post a day in there, you're leaving your people hanging because you're only posting your capsules in the morning or whatever it is you're posting. Let them live your life with you throughout the day. Okay. So, and it's just an easy way to get in there. It's an easy way for people to see what's happening with you. Okay. So that is it for today. And we will be back on tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Does anybody have any questions or have any thoughts or want to say anything?
Thank you for doing this, Theresa. This has been awesome. And I have learned several little things this morning that I'm excited about. So I really appreciate you pouring into us. I really do. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, so let's go, and you're going to continue to do this throughout the day. This is your Nick and Cranny IPAs, okay? So no more scrolling. We're going to be doing some IPAs throughout the day. So love you guys. See you tomorrow.